Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Sporty's latest webinar on the Garmin Pilot and Garmin Connext system and using your iPad with your panel mount avionics. This evening we have Michael Kerrigan from Garmin, an expert in all things Garmin avionics, iPad, and iPad applications, and he's going to share with you the latest developments that Garmin has to offer on both the software side on the iPad and the hardware interfaces to the avionics that are in your panel now or that could be installed to improve your panel along the way. So with that, Michael, I'm going to hand it over to you to begin the presentation.
Sure. Thanks, Brett. Thanks to everybody at Sporties. Just a couple of people who have really been helpful getting these webinars going over the years would be John Zimmerman and Eric Radke. Do a lot of work behind the scenes months beforehand, getting them ready. Chuck Gallagher, AEA, or Aircraft Electronic Association's Member of the Year and President of Sporty's installation company. Cincinnati Avionics is always helpful, as well as Scott Cole, who has a tremendous understanding of the systems and how they interface with one another. And Scott is the avionics manager over at Cincinnati Avionics. Once again, tremendous resources about everything we're going to talk about, Connext, as well as the ADS-B compliance regulations that are coming up for January 1st, 2020, as well as all of our other systems that are being used at Sporties throughout the flight training fleet, as well as the company aircraft. So a little bit about me. I've been at Garmin a long time. I am the sales manager in the Northeast for aviation products only, specifically in the aftermarket. I've been at the company long enough that the GTNs, G500, 600, GTX 330, 345s, etc., did not exist when I first came on board. It was much more of a 430 and GPS map 396 situation way back when. But our portfolio of products has certainly grown, and we're really happy about what we're offering these days to all our customers through legacy products and all our new products that we're announcing, as well as that continued interface and growing so that everything works well together. We'll talk a little bit about Connext this evening, some FlightStream products, the 110, the 210, the 510, the GTX transponders, the 345 and the remote version, used both in the GTN and the G1000 systems, all in one transponder. Just a little bit about our Sirius XM receiver, the GDL69 series, as well as our Iridium satellite services receivers, and how all of those interface with Garmin Pilot and also in most cases with ForeFlight.
Imagine being more connected with people, places, and your airplane. Imagine planning your flight from the comfort of your home, and even uploading your flight plan, simply, quickly, wirelessly. And imagine knowing you have all the current databases you need to fly, ready and waiting for departure. Now you don't have to, because a new day is dawning for aviation. Introducing Garmin Connext, designed to simplify your life as a pilot. With Connext, your devices work together seamlessly to help you look your best and fly smarter. They share your route and up-to-date weather, so you always have the information you need. And they can be ready to go when you are, wherever your day takes you. And Connext simplifies your workload in the cockpit, too. Upload your flight plan to your navigators and update your databases wirelessly via your mobile device and Garmin Pilot. plus have current weather, traffic, and more across all your compatible devices. En route, you can enjoy Sirius XM satellite radio and control volume, station, and even favorites through your mobile device.
Baron 1526 Mike, after Clara, proceed via Victor 448 to Battleground. Expect the RNAV 13 approach at Hillsboro.
After Clara, Victor 448 Battleground. Expect RNAV 13. Baron 26 Mike.
Baron 26 Mike, read back correct.
And ATC amendments can synchronize easily. You can even use text messaging and your mobile device's contacts to inform colleagues you've been delayed. And control your Verb action camera to capture majestic images and audio of your flight. And once you've landed, you'll automatically generate a logbook update of your flight. And with Safe Taxi across all your displays, find your way to your destination.
Charles, welcome. Thank you. Good to be here, mate.
Garmin Connext makes it all possible, so you always stay connected.
So welcome back. We'll be discussing Connext capabilities and integrating and maximizing existing systems using current technologies to integrate iPads and tablets and portable systems to maximize those systems, increasing our situational awareness and lowering our workload. So we're going to go through and discuss what the goal of Connext is, or what, and why don't we start by my definition of what Connext is, and it's delivering the truly connected cockpit that many of us have asked for a long time, one that seamlessly brings together people, flight information, and portable devices in ways you've only imagined or have requested from Garmin over the years to maximize your systems. From wirelessly uploading databases and flight plans from your iPad to calling your spouse from 10,000 feet to let them know that you'll be home, Connext promises to revolutionize your flying. At the same time, the goal of Connext is to simplify all of our flying operations, wirelessly connecting Garmin avionics to mobile devices in a user-friendly way, connecting people, information, to devices on the ground and in the air. So starting back when we're at home, uploading our databases, to during our walking around when we're uploading those databases and possibly our flight plans at that time if we have the right equipment, and moving forward. So that's the goal, to maximize existing systems on the aircraft using Bluetooth and or Wi-Fi technology to port that information onto additional displays, in some cases for primary display of weather and traffic, or in others as an additional supplement or backup. So we'll go through a little bit here. I already gave a pretty good explanation of Connext, and here's a couple examples of an iPad or smartphone or tablet being used at home and or in the cockpit to maximize those systems that are available. With that, what can we do with Connext? And what can we do with that information that's already on board our aircraft? We can share those moving maps and active flight plan that our GPS navigators are using. We can share ADS-B traffic and weather if available, if those systems are on there. We can share Sirius XM weather and control satellite radio audio remotely, once again, provided that those data link systems are on board. Enable some text messaging and voice calling via satellite or Iridium services. We can use the text message and voice controls from within the Garmin Pilot app, as well as the GTN or G1000 platforms, our integrated flight decks. We can transfer flight plans between portable devices and the avionics bidirectionally. And we can wirelessly manage the aviation databases for our Panama avionics that are every 28 days, and that really does take a lot of work out of what's been going on over the years, taking database, some cards, whether SD cards or data cards, home and out of the aircraft, back to the office, uploading information in the home or office to take back to the aircraft, and then download those into the systems. We can do that behind the scenes now through Garmin Pilot and flygarmin.com to take those databases that you're already paying for and have subscriptions to. And if configured properly, Garmin Pilot will upload that information into your iPad or tablet, and when you bring it out to the aircraft, it will then bring it up onto the certified products. We'll show you how that works in just a moment. Lots of different products here within the FlightStream portfolio. We see the iPad here running Garmin Pilot. It can also be running for flight as well. We have a GTN 750 and a 650 where I can tell it's a GMA 35 remote audio panel and a GTX 345 remote transponder. Additionally, in that GTN 750 in the top left, I see that there is a FlightStream 510 multimedia card that we'll talk about in just a minute. So quickly we'll talk about the FlightStream 110, which has the ability to share our ADS-B traffic and weather and bring that possibly a Sirius XM weather via the data link, upload GDL 69, 69A, SXM 69 or SXM 69A over onto ForeFlight and or Garmin Pilot over on the moving map or dedicated weather pages. We have the capability to enable Sirius XM audio control from this as well if we're operating a 69A from the Garmin Pilot. So I'll give a user case here, and the FlightStream 110, how about a Cessna 172 legacy aircraft, no certified GPS NavCom, but we've installed a UAT GDL 88 device for ADS-B compliance with WASP GPS positioning, and we're then using the 110 to port that information via Bluetooth over onto Garmin Pilot and or ForeFlight. So that's a user case for the FlightStream 110. As we move forward in the series, the 210 allows for two-way communication with the GTN Garmin touchscreen navigators, the WASP GPS NavComs, and also the GNS 430/530 WASP unit. This also includes all those features of the 110 that I just mentioned, and adds the GTN and GNS WASP connectivity, plus backup attitude information from an AHRS that's internal in the FlightStream 210. We also enable two-way flight plan transfer from Garmin Pilot and ForeFlight, as well as that bidirectional information being transferred over to the 430s and 530Ws, as it has to be a WASP unit, and also the Garmin Touchscreen Navigator series. This allows for loading Victor Airways from Garmin Pilot and or ForeFlight into those 430W and 530Ws that so many people have asked for over the years. So once again, weather, traffic, music capabilities, and now Victor Airway capabilities on legacy 430, 530 capabilities. So getting a lot more bang for our buck compared to what we had capable in the 430, 530 just years ago. Now we have Victor Airway navigation available through the 210. Some examples here of a flight plan transfer. We see right next, just to the right of that flight plan at the top, is a button that is the Connext icon. So we've taken the information on our iPad and tablet. We've done some flight planning at home. We've gone out to the aircraft and turned on our master switch, and we press that button up there for the Connext symbol. We're then asked to send it to or load from. We're going to push send to. We're going to take our planned flight plan and we're going to transfer it over to a 430 and or 530 plus the GTN series. Now, either one of those units, the GNS and or the GTN, will give you a message pop up where you then have to review the flight plan and also activate it. So if we're taking the information from the iPad and moving it over onto the certified navigators, we have to review it and activate it. If the information changes on the GTN or GNS units and we ask for it to send to the iPad or tablet for Garmin Pilot or ForeFlight, that will automatically happen. That does not have to be previewed. With that, we activate that, we transfer that existing flight plan over onto our navigator, and now we are navigating both on our GTN moving map and also on our ForeFlight or Garmin Pilot application on the iOS system, and we're moving forward. With that, we move up from the 210 into the 510, our new multimedia card, which has both Wi-Fi and also Bluetooth capabilities in that very, very amazing card there. And we're enabling the database concierge and the wireless database transfer, connecting our Garmin, Fly Garmin account with our active subscriptions, and behind the scenes, if configured properly, while the iPad is running and overnight, if databases are then available, it will load into your Garmin Pilot application. From there, we're then taking that iPad out to the aircraft, and the Garmin touchscreen navigator, the 650 and or the 750, will have the ability to upload that information, and I'll show you that in just one second. I want to tell you that if you have more than one GTN, only one FlightStream 510 multimedia card is required. That Bluetooth capability within the card allows for two-way flight plan transfer. We're sharing ADS-B traffic, weather, and GPS system. We have the ability to have backup attitude information from the G500 or 600 AR system. And we're, one other thing that I was going to include on that, you know what, I don't have it off the top of my head, but I'll come back to that in just a minute. But this is patented hardware and technology that's now in the FlightStream 510. With that, we set up our Garmin Pilot to automatically download the aircraft databases from our active Fly Garmin account. The database transfer to GTN occurs in just minutes once we're at the aircraft and within Bluetooth connectivity range and our units have been turned on. We also have the option to set the Garmin Pilot to automatically delete databases from the device memory after the transfer, so we're not taking up valuable storage space. The databases are transferred prior to their effective dates, and they remain in the standby position and automatically become available on the active dates in case you were on a trip without Wi-Fi connectivity to your Fly Garmin account. We wirelessly transfer the information on the following databases to the Garmin touchscreen navigators: Jeppesen Nav Data, Garmin Navigation Database, Obstacles, Terrain, Safe Taxi, Flight Charts, and Base Map. Those are all available through the database concierge and save everyone a lot of time, especially if you have more than one, whether it's a GTN 750, 650, and or a G500, 600, or in many cases dual G500s with 600s in the system. And through our high-speed data bus, that system architecture will transfer that information throughout the entire system. So at home from your Fly Garmin account, it only has to be uploaded once, saving you a tremendous amount of time back in the home office. From here, what you're seeing on the Fly Garmin account, transfer the information over onto Garmin Pilot. We walk through, we see the green checks that that information is being transferred. We're all green now. We head on out to the airplane. We turn on our master switch. Our Bluetooth connectivity through the Connect system says that we have some available databases. What would we like to do? We touch on the update icon, and it will take just a couple moments for all those databases to complete the transfer over. You have the ability to skip and transfer and enroll immediately if you prefer, but it really is just a couple of minutes of time to go. From there, we're taking our information. We're seeing that same amount of transfer feedback on the Garmin Pilot application on your tablet, actually on your iOS iPad. So from there, we move forward, we continue, and then we go through our normal startup on the GTNs. The GTN 650 and 750 has the single flight stream 510 support. A dual GTN install with database sync is available also with the 650, the 750, the 500, the 600, etc. through the high-speed data bus. We also have the ability to share the AHRS with our mobile device through Garmin Pilot and also ForeFlight, giving an attitude backup for both of those applications. We move into the GTX 345 and GDL 88 for ADS speed, traffic, and weather. GDL 69 data link upload from our Sirius weather display and audio control on Garmin Pilot, and our Iridium services for text messaging and voice control on Garmin Pilot as well, or controlled straight through the GTNs or G500, 600, G1000 platforms for worldwide weather capabilities as well as phone and texting. So that flight stream series, the 110, think of legacy aircraft without a certified GPS navcom, but taking existing available resources and porting that information by Bluetooth over onto a tablet running Garmin Pilot or ForeFlight. Flight stream 210 for GNS 430s, 530s, or the GTN series in there, including two-way flight plan transfers with built-in AHRS capability. And a Flight Stream 510 multimedia card with all those same capabilities, as well as database concierge, and that is available on the GTN touchscreen capabilities units, and also allowing for all those databases to use the high-speed data bus to cross over and fill those databases on various Garmin products and systems that were previously described, such as 500, 600, and additional GTN series as well. So the GTX 345 transponder, a very exciting product that we came out with a little while ago, all-in-one ADS-B transponder utilizing Mode S digital transponder capabilities, emitting 1090 extended squitter kicking out, but as well as 1090 and 978 UAT receiver, 1090 air-to-air, 1090 and 978 from the ground station coming up for subscription-free traffic and weather, plus a included Bluetooth receiver allowing for the Connext capability. Industry standard transponder at 1.65 inches, really replacing the area for many of the analog legacy Mode C transponders, as well as digital Mode C and Mode S transponders. Remote mount versions available for the GTN and or G1000 aircraft, with an optional WASP GPS as an additional cost. And the optional WASP GPS 345 would come into play with possibly a non-WASP 430 or 530 aircraft not looking to do the WASP upgrade for LPV approaches, etc., but allowing for ADS-B compliance plus the weather and traffic transfer over onto a iOS device running Garmin Pilot and or ForeFlight. Listing prices start at $49.95, and the WASP GPS add-ons for either a 335 transponder or 345 is $800 onto the list price of those units. Some of the features of the GTX 345 Connext capabilities are ADS-B in weather and traffic information displayed on mobile devices running Garmin Pilot or ForeFlight, plus additional Bluetooth capable Garmin portable units, the 795 or 796, and the new Era 660 unit, which allows for backup attitude information and the precise GPS position to be used with those application and or on the portable units, plus also target trend capability with relative motion lines for the traffic on the Garmin Pilot application, as well as terminal traffic, or seeing what is on the ground in terminal areas. Those are some of the features, as well as your standard transponder capabilities that we're all accustomed to. So the flight stream capabilities on the GTX 345 and how it compares with the 110, the 210, and the 510 that were just mentioned, some that can be used in conjunction. Once again, the Flightstream 110 for legacy aircraft without a GPS navcom, a GTX 345 alone or with WASP GPS can be used for compliance and weather and traffic receiving, as well as the Flightstream 210, which is primarily these days used in the GNS 430 and 530 series for weather, traffic, XM weather, traffic, if available on a data link box, Iridium services for global weather, as well as voice and texting capabilities, attitude information, and two-way flight plan transfer, and the 510 that gets all of those, including AHAR's backup from an existing G500 to 600. And I really can't say enough about what the database concierge capabilities are and what's available to you on that. It's just an amazing one that's been getting tremendous feedback on the owners group, whether it's Cessna owners, Beach Talk, or Cirrus owners, as well as TVM Oper, et cetera. Very, very well received once configured. Our Series XM weather units are certified products in data link, whether it's the GDL 69, 69A, SXM, the newer products, SXM 69 and 69A, are all available to be used with the Connext services via Bluetooth from those certified products over onto and adding on the additional displays of Garmin Pilot and or ForeFlight through the Connext services when available. The GDL 69 coverage includes the continental U.S., and it does go up into Canada about 70 nautical miles or so, depending on your altitude. The weather information includes NEXRAD, METARs, precipitation information, lightning, winds aloft, echo tops, TFRs, and more. This is all available to be viewed on Garmin Pilot with the Flightstream, as well as on ForeFlight. Some of those capable avionics systems using the GDL 69, so in the cockpit we're displaying on a 430, a 530, and a G500, GMX 200, etc., and also then onto our Era 660, 795, 796, or Garmin Pilot or ForeFlight via Bluetooth capabilities there. So really maximizing our subscriptions on Sirius XM weather capabilities. We also have the music channels, which can be controlled through through our XM controls on G500, 600, G1000, and or GTN capabilities, plus Garmin Pilot controls through our flight stream as well. So once again, additional options of how and where to use those systems. Our global worldwide weather services through our GSR 56 Connext satellite services, available to, like I said, global weather using METARs and TAPs, plus also our capabilities for phone and texting. Really an amazingly clear connection through the voice calling, as well as our two-way text messaging control through Garmin Pilot and or through the GTNs or G500, 600 systems themselves. Also available for position tracking, and the compatible avionics are once again the GTN series, the 650, 750, G600 and G500 for PFDs and MFDs, 500H for helicopter use, G1000, and our other Garmin integrated flight decks such as G5000 as well, and G3000s. Additionally, we have the ability to use our smartphone with FlightStream 210 or 510 for Garmin Pilot integration, so that we have our Garmin Pilot not only on our tablet or iOS device, but we also have the ability to have it on our smartphone using the same subscription and those same Connext capabilities for text messaging as well as voice calling through the Garmin Pilot, and utilizing our phone or tablet's contact list. When we turn this on, the GTN will come on and say, can GSR 56 integrate your contacts? And if you want them to, and if you use that aircraft a lot, you would say yes, and it would store those contacts in there, making your dialing or texting much easier. Iridium services now available in multiple subscription options, including a lower cost based on hours per year flown and used, $79.99 a month for that information, as well as some heavier operators for 400 plus hours or so at $174.99. Excuse me, 400 hours or less. Available. We also have some unlimited capabilities as well. But an amazing device with low installation hours, allowing for global weather capabilities and phone and texting connectivity through the services through GSR 56 Connext and all of your certified platforms from GTN, G500, 600, G1000, etc. And once again, getting tremendous reviews on the owners group for those who've adapted to this new technology. So the cockpit connectivity, really utilizing existing solutions to maximize that information using the most popular available applications on our iOS or tablet devices, Garmin Pilot and our good partner ForeFlight on there, to update our databases, to update our weather and traffic information on multiple displays, and to move forward with just having a really simplified workspace in the cockpit and additional information available for not only the pilot, the co-pilot, and in many cases for following along the flight plan or changing the radio stations, etc., for our passengers. So I'm going to try to bring Brett back in here for some Q&A that you folks may have for me. And from there, Brett, are you with me?
I am, Michael. Thank you, and thanks for all that great information on this these systems. And as a GTN flyer and iPad for flight and Garmin Pilot user, I'm really impressed. And it seems like every year and every 6 months now, Garmin has something new that allows us to take what we already have and expand the capabilities of it. So thank you to Garmin, and really does make the flying a lot easier and more enjoyable along the way. Yeah, a couple questions came through. First one relates to the FlightStream 510, that multimedia card with Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. If a pilot purchases that, can they install that themselves, or does that require a visit to the avionics shop still?
That would require a visit to the avionics shop to make sure that the system software was up to the interface level for the FlightStream 510 and for logbook entry on that. The stop-in is going to be very quick, less than an hour. The paperwork takes longer than anything else, but it does require an authorized Garmin dealer to install that.
Okay, good. Another question along this that product line. If a pilot purchases that FlightStream 510, does that include a Garmin Pilot iPad app subscription?
It does. So the first year for the Garmin Pilot iPad subscription is included with the FlightStream 510. Following that, the years to come, you could operate from the basic subscription model, which is $74.99, or if you want to use, the approach plates, etc., then you would get the premium one. Oftentimes, what we see is some folks who are going to use the FlightStream 510, especially for the database concierge, and they will then plan to either go to premium or in many cases they'll have both Garmin Pilot and ForeFlight on their tablet, and they go back and forth depending on what they're doing and what they like at the time. So you can have both running. Well, we recommend trying them both and enjoying what you're comfortable with.
Okay, thank you. Next question is a gentleman has a 530W and a 430W in his airplane, along with a 330 ES transponder for his ADS-B out compliance. He also has a GDL39D for ADS-B in, which I believe is the portable receiver. He also has a Garmin 796. So he's looking to pull that together. So he's asking if it would make sense to add a FlightStream 210 to interface the 796 with his 430 and 530 for keeping flight plans in sync.
So the first thing I have to say is wow, and thank you very much. Greatly appreciated to have all that, but I'm sure he's enjoying flying that equipment as well. So yes, the FlightStream 210 would be a tremendous add-on to his existing equipment. He's already meeting ADS-B compliance. FlightStream 210, which is just 4 wires, would sit in the aircraft, installed at the authorized Garmin dealer, and would then take the information. Now, the only thing that I didn't hear, oh no, you said a GDL 39, so he's utilizing the 39 with Bluetooth over to his 796 for weather and traffic capabilities. He's putting TIS-A traffic onto his 530s and 430 for traffic, but he's really going to maximize the 430s and 530 for flight plan transfer over from Garmin Pilot onto those for Victor Airway navigation would be the benefit there, as well as the 210 is going to give him AHARS backup for both the Garmin Pilot and or the 796. So yeah, tremendous amount of use out of a FlightStream 210 for him with very little installation.
Good. Just so I understand, I think a couple of questions from the audience. The 430 and 530 could not initially do airways, so by adding a FlightStream system and using it with the iPad, it allows that more advanced routing options to be input. Is that correct?
That is correct. So you would change the flight if you're going to add a route amendment or a flight plan in advance of the flight. You would load the Victor Airway into Garmin Pilot and then transfer it into the 430 or 530s. The 430s or 530s accept that as the waypoints. So when you look on the 430 or 530 in the flight plan area, it's loaded as waypoints, not as Victor 1 BOS, BOS Victor 1 CRG for the on and off. It would be all of the waypoints that would be included on that Victor 1.
Okay, yeah, that makes perfect sense. Thank you. Last question is related to the original G1000 systems, and I assume here in the single-engine Cessna aircraft where the system debuted. Are there any connectivity options for those systems?
Not at this time. So those are under review. The Flightstream 210, 510, et cetera, are not currently available on the G1000 platforms, but they are definitely in evaluation and being reviewed. What I can tell you that was very exciting about the G1000 WAS and non-WAS platforms is that Cessna recently came out with the service bulletins to assist with ADS-B compliance, so that upgrading system software to a G1000 WAS flight deck then allows for a GTX 335 remote or 345 remote to be added to those by the shop, and that for ADS-B compliance moving forward. For the non-WAS Cessnas with G1000, a GTX 345 or 335 remote with GPS would be available now. But so while connectivity is not currently available for those, but in evaluation, ADS-B compliance for those aircraft is readily available and being done. I happen to have been at a shop today that is doing their 6th Cessna upgrade on G1000 platforms for ADS-B compliance. So they were very excited about that.
Well, good to hear. And I'm sure, like is with all things Garmin, many pilots are requesting that, and I'm sure it's something that will be considered down the road. Well, Michael, thank you for your time this evening. As always, everyone, Garmin has an excellent display presence at the trade shows and aviation events throughout the year at Sun and Fun in Oshkosh. A great place to go get your hands on and touch these avionics and get a demo of the Connext features with the iPad and ForeFlight and Garmin Pilot. So if you're in Lakeland next month in April or Oshkosh in July, make sure to stop by and see Michael and the group at Garmin there. As I mentioned, this webinar has been recorded and will be up tomorrow afternoon at sporties.com/webinars and at iPadPilotNews.com. So check there tomorrow for the recording to follow up for more information. And Mike, thanks again. And everyone, have a good evening.
Well, thank you, Brett, and thank you, as always, to Sporties for all their support over the years.